Hey everybody, welcome to subscriber Q&A. Today I am going to work on diving deeper into adjusting the sleeve cap after doing a forward shoulder adjustment. I had shown how to do that during Fit Tip Tuesday last week, and I walked the sleeve and I just adjusted the notch on the sleeve cap to agree with the new length of the front and back armhole. But then I was going through some of the questions from that video, and there were a few questions about, if you have to make a significant adjustment, then you might end up needing to actually adjust the amount of ease you have in the cap. So what I want to do today is just show you an example of a I want to show you an example of a armhole that I adjusted for a forward shoulder. And I did it on a mini. And then I have the original ease that I had before I made the adjustment. And then I rewalked the sleeve to show what the new ease is. And we're going to just look at that and decide if it's too much. And if it is too much, we're going to remove ease. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm just going to dive right in. Today I have a really fun project to do with my granddaughter when I pick her up from school at 2. We're going to be decorating Thanksgiving cookies with frosting and sprinkles. So kind of excited about that. Let me just switch over here. Okay, so I've got my pieces here. And I just want to show you what I've done so far in terms of working with this sleeve and armhole. So let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit here so you can see. All right, so what I did was I basically did a forward ball of the shoulder adjustment. And I just want to remind everybody what that entails here. You can see that I actually got rid of, and I think I'll highlight it in blue so you can see here, this much height. So all of this height, this is where it overlaps here. Okay, so I pushed this down to lower the length of the shoulder here. I didn't just trim it off, I pushed it down. And then in the back, I used the seam allowance method to cut here. So I cut, and I cut it here, and then I slid this up, and I put a little slash in there as well. So you can see that pushing this up brings the tip of the shoulder forward, right? So now my back is longer, my front is shorter, and what I want to do now is show you what the sleeve cap was doing. So the blue dashes that I have here, that's where my back and my front sleeve armholes were. The middle of that is the amount of ease I had in the original armhole, which was about, I don't know, maybe 3/8 of an inch, not quite a half an inch. So the middle of it was my shoulder notch where that red line is. So then after I did the adjustment on these two pieces, hey Susie Berry, welcome from Florida. I'm taking a deeper dive into adjusting a sleeve cap after you do a forward shoulder, because someone asked me about doing a significant adjustment and then how to adjust the cap. Because in the video that I showed last week for Fit Tip Tuesday, I just showed rotating the shoulder dart to be in the middle again. So my original cap had a 3/8 inch of ease. The middle of it was the shoulder notch where that red line is. Now, as it worked out, when I walked the sleeve cap into the new armhole that I just adjusted, the back ended up at my shoulder notch. And so you can see, and of course you would expect that, because in the back, I'm just going to dash this in here. Okay, so this is my back cap, and Okay, and it was right here, but now it's here. So it actually got longer by the approximate amount that I lifted the tip of the shoulder at the armhole. So that makes sense to me that the back would stop here now. When I walked the front now ends here. So I not only, okay, so when I shorten this, I just want to show you another thing here. When I shorten this, I wanted to do an extreme amount. So not only did I push this down, but I also overlapped the point that here, this is my slash right here. I overlapped that along the armhole almost a ½ inch. So I got rid of a ½ inch of ease here. If I turn it around, you can see. So the piece overlaps from here to here. So I'm shortening. When I push this down, I actually slid it down to overlap here a ½ inch. So again, that makes sense to me that the front, this way, now ends here. So the ½ inch that I slid it down right here, right, plus the little bit more that I pushed it down over here, those two things together add up to the amount of move, because my original front ended here, now it's ending here. So you can see now I have, if I measure my new front and back, I now have almost an inch, 7/8 of an inch of ease on this tiny cap. So I went from having 3/8 to 7/8, and if you want to maintain the amount of ease in your cap, then you're going to need to reduce the ease after you do the adjustment. So again, this adjustment was a little bit different because not only did I push it down like I showed in the video last week on Fit Tip Tuesday, I also cut it here and let it slide down to make it even lower. I wanted to make it really dramatic. Hey, Victoria, welcome, welcome. Hello from Virginia. Hello back at you from Connecticut, I guess I should say. It's a nice crisp day here. I went hiking this morning with my dogs and it was really invigorating. I loved it. All right, so what do we do here? Okay, so if we look at what we did to our armholes, we adjusted the height of the cap in the back. So we lengthened the cap this much, so about a ½ inch. We lengthened it, but in the front, we shortened it. So I think what we're going to do, because remember, the cap needs to reach, you know, this height here needs to reach up to here on the armhole needs to reach the cap. I lengthened it here and I shortened it here. So I think what I'd like to do to fix this, and maybe shift around what I have here, is I'm going to lengthen the back cap, but I'm going to leave, and I'm going to shorten the front cap. And then we'll decide, we're going to walk it again and we'll decide if we need to take out the ease, because I lengthened, this has to be long enough to reach here. This has to be shorter because I took, oops, I'm sorry. This has to be shorter because I took this down. Oh, hi, Carla from Kentucky. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to see you guys, All right, let me just move myself over a little bit so I have a little bit more room there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight my notches here. So I've got my back notches are here, my front notches here, front notch, back notches, just so they're a little bit more bold. I am going to draw myself a line like this. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to cut that and I'm going to pivot it. So I'm going to lengthen the back and shorten the front a little bit. So it's almost like I'm redistributing the ease based on the fact that in the back I heightened the armhole and in the front I shortened it. So let's say we're going to shorten it in the front. Let me draw it on this part. Let's shorten the front the half. I'm going to shorten the front the 1/2 inch that I pushed it down over here to get myself more in a line with what happened. So I'm going to draw myself a guideline that's a 1/2 inch above here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to line this up like this. So oh, wait a minute. Before I do that too, let me just make myself a guideline to pivot on. So I'm going to find the middle-ish of my sleeve because I want to pivot there. So I am going to slide this down like this, and I'm going to open that up. So you can see what's happening is I'm shortening the cap in the front, but I'm lengthening it in the back. So I'm actually getting the cap to agree with what I did here. Okay, so see, it's more length in there, and it's now shortened over here because I've now, let me just draw this overlap like this, right? So that now this is all overlapped here, right? And then I can put a green Post-it note in this over here to show the spread. And what I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to want to walk it again and see what I end up with. But you can see I've spread that, and I've spread it about the amount that it's hiked up, right? So let's see what this is going to do in terms of fitting onto the cap now. Now over here I have to do a little truing up, right? Here I can just, the way this worked out, I'll just go like that. But over here I'm going to add, I'll get a little scrap of paper from my floor and stick it right here. And I'm going to tape that there so I can split the difference, as they say. Oh, Susie says she's going to come back and watch the replay. My internet's not cooperating. Well, I will tell you, when I got up this morning, my internet wasn't working at all. I couldn't even get to my YouTube on my computer. So maybe there's something in the air today. All right, so here's the original edges of the armhole. And let me see if I can get this a little bit closer up so you can see what's happening. And maybe let's brighten us up a little bit, not that much. There, I think that's better. Okay, so I'm going to find the middle of the adjustment, which is right here. And then I'm just going to skim some off here and add a little bit there. So see what I'm doing? I'm sort of finding the middle of the road answer to true that up. Like this. Okay. So that's all set. And this is all set. So what we're going to do now is we're going to re-walk the sleeve, and we're going to see how much ease we have. It shouldn't change, but it's going to change where the notch is. And then since I've figured out or lengthened here and shortened here, then we can deal with the ease if we want to reduce it by reducing ease and not worrying about the height of the cap. All right, so I am going to re-walk. So I will just I have to turn one of these upside down, so it's going to look a little funky. But basically, I am going to walk my front, we'll start in the back. I'm going to walk my back cap. I just want to make sure we're nice and sharp. Okay. Like this. Okay, so as I walk, you can see I'm pivoting on the stitching line, not on the edge of the pattern. All right, so you can see here that my back, and I'll just do it in blue back here. My back is here now, B. Now let's do the front. So I'm going to line that up, and we're going to walk it. Oops. Okay, so now my front is right here. Okay, and let's see what that did in comparison. So what that did was it took my E's that were these red, and it shifted it towards the back a little bit, which is what I would expect because I lengthened this and I shortened that. But I still have here and here, right? So I still have well, now it's looks like it's 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 6, 3/4 of an inch. So I've got 3/4 of an inch here of ease. And remember, I want to maintain the original amount of ease that I had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of 3/8 of an inch of ease on this. And because I've already shortened this, I'm going to equally get rid of 3/8. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw myself a little L-shaped guideline like this. So I've got one here, and I'm finding of the middle of between, you know, where my notch would be and where this notch is. So somewhere around here, I'm just drawing myself a vertical guideline to make a backward L. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, like this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to split up the 3/8 of an inch total that I want to get rid of into two. So it's going to be like 3/16 on either side. So 1/8 and a half basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. Well, before I cut it, let me mark it. So we're going to do 3/16 here and 3/16 here. So 1/8 and a half. So this line right here and this line right here would be my marks. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut this, and I'm just going to slide this in. So I'm getting rid of that 3/8. And I'm going to do it on the other side as well. And you can see we're going to have a truing up thing we're going to be working on in a minute too. Like this, and like this. And I'm going to overlap this 3/8 as well. Okay. All right, so now I've got this unevenness here. Just put a piece of paper. So again, whenever I'm adjusting something that is caused by an adjustment that gives me a jog like this, I'm going to split the difference. And basically what that means is I'm going to find the middle, which is right here. So I'm going to add a little bit, and I'm going to trim a little bit. So it's half and half, like that. And I do believe that makes it the most least invasive way to adjust. So I've got that. And let me just tape the same little piece of paper right here. Like this. And again, I'm going to find the middle. I'm going to add a little bit here. and I'm going to trim a little bit there. And that's going to give me, that's going to remove half of my 3/4 of an inch of ease that I had. And now I have a very messy cap here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of paper, piece of white paper, and just to make it neater looking, I'm just going to tape this right over. That's not a good piece. Hold on. I'm just going to tape this paper right over my cap just so I can redraw everything nice and neat for you so it's not going to be gross looking. So basically I'm just covering this here like I'm using a big piece of white out, and I'm going to tape everything down that I added, like the little green sliver that I added to true that up. And then I'm just going to trim my cap to its original shape like this. And then I'm going to transfer through. My back was here. My front was right here. Okay, so this is where my notches were before I got rid of the 3/8 on either side. So to figure out my new position of my the shoulder notch, really it hasn't moved. So this is where my back and front ended before I took in 3/16 and 3/16. So I don't need to figure out anything new for the shoulder notch. It's still going to be the middle distance between the back and the front. So if I mark that like this, and notice I'm going where the stitching line would be. So my notch is going to be, it's still going to be in the middle. So it's going to be 3/8 of an inch. 1, 2, 3. Because then there's 1, 2, 3. So it's still going to be right here. So this is my shoulder notch. I don't have to move it because I took out an equal amount of ease on either side of the cap. And I mean, if you want to walk it again, you can. But all that's going to happen when you walk it again is because I closed this up 3/16 and I closed this up 3/16, it's just going to move my back over a little bit and my front over a little bit closer to the notch. So this is an example of how you can really customize your cap if you made a significant adjustment for a forward shoulder. So you're putting the length that you need on the back cap where you lengthened it, and then you're taking it off of the front cap where you shortened it. And then you also removed the ease that you didn't need. So this is how you can really get that cap to agree with your forward shoulder adjustment. Or anytime you're, if you're shortening the shoulder for a different reason, I'm working with somebody else now that's working on an oversized shirt, and it keeps pulling to the back. She does have a forward ball of the shoulder, but she keeps adding to the back. And I think if she shortens the front enough, that's going to make it fit. And once we get that resolved, I'm going to show that in a, well, if she allows me to. I haven't asked her yet, but if she lets me use her videos that she's been sending me, I can show you what the problem was and how we fixed it. But then to make the sleeve fit, this would be a really good tutorial to have on hand. So I'm glad that a few of you came and watched me today, but it's going to be live on my channel. So I'm going to put a link to it in the description for the video I shared how to do the forward shoulder adjustment. I'll put a link to this video in that description. So if you're looking at that and you want a more detailed tutorial on how to fix your cap, you can totally do that. So, oh, RT Blades, I'm so happy you came. Now, I was just about to sign off in a second. I want to remind everybody that Friday, FabFit Friday, is going to be at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, because I'm having Sarah May from So Live on as a guest to talk about her Fittopedia series. And I apologize because I think I've been calling it Fitopia. In my head, I'm calling it Fitopia, but it's Fitopedia. And she's got a lot of cool, fitting adjustments in that series. So I'm excited to talk about fitting with Sarah Mee on Friday, but it's going to be at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So join us for that. Becky says, I'm so happy to see this process detailed. I've been struggling to get my sleeves to fit correctly after making a forward shoulder adjustment. Oh, I'm so happy, Becky, because, you know, I did it. And when I did it in the tutorial, I just showed how to shift the notch, which if you're just making a small adjustment, you could get away with that just by shifting it. But if you make a bigger adjustment, you need to also shift where the ease is by lengthening the back and shortening the front, and then also maybe taking some of the ease out. So I probably should have showed all of this in that tutorial. So I apologize for that, but now I have it here. And like I said, I will link it to that Fit Tip Tuesday video. RT Blade said, did I get here just in time to say goodbye? You did, because it started at 1 o'clock. So, and you know what, and here's the thing, the fact that you came at all, I am so grateful for. I love doing these lives, and I know that there's a lot of other things that you are doing, and that, you know, coming to watch my live is not probably top on people's list because we're all busy. So that's why I'm really happy that my lives stay on my channel, so you can watch them whenever you know, have time or feel like watching them if they're a topic you're interested in. So, but I did want to address this because I did get a couple subscriber questions about that. And like I said, as soon as I get off, I'll put the tutorial showing how to do the forward shoulder adjustment in this description, and I'll tag back this one to the other one. So if you're watching either one, you won't have to search around to find the other part that you need to finish it up. DIYer Girl says, I'm going to have to watch the replay. Oh, hi, DIYer Girl. Thank you for joining me, though. And then Mary Lou says, I agree with Becky. I have done a forward shoulder and adjusted the sleeve, but not with great results. Thank you. Oh. Oh, it's okay. Let me tell you something. One of the hardest things about working at home is ignoring the dishes, or not throwing in that laundry, or trying to clean things, because it's distracting to work at home. So you have a day off and then you were doing the dishes and you got distracted. I totally get that, though. RT Blades, I'm right there with you. And Tana says you were making soup. Ooh, Tana, what kind of soup are you making? It's definitely soup season, and I am a soup lover. I have a few really good recipes that I can share with you guys. Maybe I'll put one in my newsletter. I haven't done a newsletter in a couple months, so I will be doing a newsletter for the holidays. And since you're all listening, I will tell you make sure you check out Cool Tools on Monday, because it's going to be one of, in my opinion, something that is an amazing stocking stuffer for the sewers on your list. And you will have a chance to win for free what I'm going to share with you on Monday. So make sure you join me well, I won't, it's not a live video. It's uploaded at 6 p.m. Monday. And to enter the contest to win, all you'll have to do is make a comment under the video. And then on Friday, at FabFit Friday after Thanksgiving, I am going to announce the winner by picking a random number. So I'll just count up all the comments. We'll pick a random number live, and whoever is that comment is going to get the free stocking stuffer. They can keep it for themselves or they can gift it to a sewing friend. So I'm super excited. Lindsay says, thank you, Jen. RT Blade says, yes, you work from home and cleaning as I go in and out of the office. I know. Oh, RT Blade made cabbage potato soup. That sounds delish. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love soup season. I have half of a butternut squash in my refrigerator. I use butternut squash to make amazing macaroni and cheese. It's really good with Asiago cheese, that very sharp cheese, and then I put some fontina in it. It's succulent. But I had a big butternut squash, so I think I'm going to roast the rest of that butternut squash with a few other vegetables and make myself some sort of soup with that. Yeah, it's so much fun. I love soup. Okay, so that would be everything I want to talk about today. Remember, FabFit Friday, 4 o'clock. And Sarah Mee from So Live will be on with me. And Monday, make sure you check out the Cool Tools, because that's going to be a drawing for a free stocking stuffer of the thing I'm sharing with you on for a Cool Tool on Monday. So super excited about those two things. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the weekend finishing up my ceiling project that I'm working on and getting my house Thanksgiving ready, because I'm having dinner at my house. I'm so excited. It's been since way before the pandemic that I've had a holiday at my house. So I'm excited to have everybody over and make a yummy meal. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. So anyway, that's my report. There will be no subscriber Q&A next Wednesday because it's the day before Thanksgiving and I know everyone's going to be busy, including myself. So no subscriber Q&A next week, but I will have the Cool Tools. I will have a Fit Tip Tuesday, and I will be joining you on Friday for FabFit Friday to announce the winner of the stocking stuffer. So be sure to join me for that to find out if you win, if you make a comment on Monday. And obviously you have time to make comments all week. And if you love the thing and you want to make multiple comments, I don't care. You can comment as many times as you want, and I'm going to pick a random person to win. So there you go. It's going to be very exciting. Part of my holiday, gift extravaganza that I'm doing. But anyway, all right, now I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to sign off. But thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you for FabFit Friday, 4 o'clock. All right, so bye-bye, everyone, and thank you for joining me.